Hello, dear fans, friends, and subscribers. Welcome to the cricket show, Cricket Happenings, once again. And on this Cricket Happening show, there's a lot of cricket. I mean, there is plethora of cricket being played all around the globe. As you know, we had an eventful week, where New Zealand went on to draw the series in a stunning manner. I mean, after following on, they became the only the fourth test nation to go and defeat another country. So they defeated England by just one run, a solitary run, and what a match that was. So that was one thing which was absolutely an icing on the cake as far as last week's proceedings were concerned. After that, the Indians so far, I mean, already taken a 2-0 lead in the Border Gavaskar Trophy, already retained the Border Gavaskar Trophy. And on a turning pitch, India got a dose of their own medicine as the Aussies went and beat India. In fact, after 3 days, I mean, all the matches that have been played have been closed within 3 days, and this was also the same thing. Did not go the distance, and this was a real spiteful pitch. Despite a lot of wickets going on the wickets stumbling on the first 3 days, one probably expected India to put up a much better fight. But I thought the Aussie spinners ruled the roost, and they looked more effective than the Indian spinners. I have to say that, and that's finally the outcome was the Aussies beating India by 9 wickets, and now the Border Gavaskar Trophy. But what it did for Australia is something great. This has actually Australia have already booked a place in the World Test Championship finals. But for India, there is a challenge yet to be done in the fourth Test match that is coming up. I think it's in Ahmedabad, if I'm not wrong. But one thing I can tell you, fans, that that particular match is very important for India. They have to go and win against Australia, even though they have won the Border Gavaskar Trophy. If at all they want to clinch that spot, and once India win, they still can probably bank upon Sri Lanka not beating New Zealand 2-0. As you know, Sri Lanka are in New Zealand right now, and Sri Lanka not beating New Zealand 2-0. Now, that is something I think New Zealand beating New Zealand in New Zealand 2-0 is going to be a very tough ask. So, that is something that India can be rest assured about it. But as I said, but it's very essential that in the fourth Test match, Indians have nothing else to do but to go and defeat Australia. Will that happen? We'll see. Okay. Now, that is two matches. The other match that happened, South Africa versus West Indies. Now, South Africa versus West Indies, South Africa were totally dominant. West Indies bowling was good, with Alzari Joseph claiming a maiden 5-wicket haul, and also his best analysis in Test cricket as well. But one thing that we have to see, that the South Africans totally dominated. They went on to beat the West Indies by 87 runs in the first Test match. And the other side in the subcontinent, we had Bangladesh. So far, a lot of countries have come there. Australia came there. The other team, West Indies, came there, but they really showed that the spinners were really effective. And to beat Bangladesh in Bangladesh, especially with the Bangladeshi spinners there, it's pretty difficult on pretty uneven tracks. But England, and also let's remember that this is not a full strength England team. The England team is just recovering from the defeat against New Zealand, and here comes this second string England team led by Josh Butler. Put up a grand show there. They have already won the series 2-0 with just one more match to come, which will be a mere formality. But for Bangladesh, yes, it would be a saving grace for them if they go on to beat England. So this was a sort of a synopsis of what I have in store for you today. So let's start off with, as I said, the icing on the cake match. And we are talking about England and New Zealand. And the other day, when you remember, when I last had this cricket show talk with you, I said there is one man is the key, and that is the former New Zealand captain, Kane Williamson. And look at the way he played. I mean, so right I was on that score, because if without that innings from Kane Williamson, who went on to make 132 with 12 boundaries. Yes, he definitely got good support from Daryl Mitchell with 54, but there was another very good innings played by Tom Blundell. And Tom Blundell is someone who has really made it a sort of a habit now when it comes to England. He really, really goes there and fires every time he plays against England. And, he already scored a century, pulling New Zealand out of an absolute crisis in the first test. But, well, it went in vain. It's quite a different thing altogether. But Tom Blundell, look at that knock of his. I mean, he deserved a century, but he was the one who gave the solid support to Kane Williamson. 90 runs from Tom Blundell. Definitely, he has cemented his spot as the wicketkeeper batsman after Brendan McCullum now. After BJ Watling, one could call. Blundell 99 boundaries and 483 all out for New Zealand, thus setting England a target of the target was 258 runs, and we Jack Leach taking five wickets against New Zealand, but England was set 258 runs for victory. And let us talk about it. It was you know that England have been playing baseball cricket, and it was the final day, and what heavy drama we had there. I mean, first credit to the New Zealand bowling. It was tremendous stuff coming in from Saudi and Henry by knocking the first three off. And after that, it was pretty good, pretty tough going. But Joe Root played a very good. He reined himself in, and he got support from Ben Stokes, the captain. But they probably tried to play baseball cricket, but with New Zealand actually coming and picking up the wickets, I think, and Ben Stokes probably had a problem with the knee as well. So that probably went against them, because what happened was that Ben Stokes started playing a sort of a secondary role. But under the circumstances, if you look at it, England were really in trouble at that time. 4 wickets were down for 80s. In fact, 5 for 80. And to add to the disappointment for England, Harry Brook, without even facing a delivery, the player of the series, uh, without even playing a delivery, was run out. And that was the most tragic. And according to me, that was the turning point in the game, according to me. If Harry Brook had stayed there, we know what he can do. That Harry Brook, this young, talented bloke, who was the player of the series, was run out for naught without facing a ball. And that is a travesty, according to me. That whatever happened, but it was Joe Root who probably was guilty over there. But Joe Root probably realized that the onus was on him now to nurture New England to victory. He tried his best, he stayed there, but I think the New Zealand bowlers roared back in the final bend, one could call. And even after that, there was Wagner who was bowling with absolute fire. He was totally pumped up. He was taken for immense runs in the first Test match, as you know. But what a way for Neil Wagner to come up with a reply and roar back against England with analysis of 15.2 overs, no maiden, 62 runs and 4 wickets. And the drama was not over, even though the two set batsmen, Joe Root was out for 95 and Ben Stokes was into the pavilion for 33. It was once again Ben Foakes, the wicketkeeper batsman, showing a great determination, and he had a real work to do. He had to actually shield Jack Leach, and at that time again, the pendulum started swinging back the England way at 215 for 8. And who would have thought there was a partnership of 36 runs between Ben Foakes? But what one liked about it, Ben Foakes was shielding Jack Leach, the number 10 batsman, from taking. And Jack Leach, if you look at it, he was not out one high and dry of 31 deliveries. He did a good job, but look at the way Ben Foakes basically what he did. So that's the part that you have to talk about. Ben Foakes did a great job there. Jack Leach was not out on one, but when Ben Foakes was out to the bowling of Saudi for 35, it was James Anderson in the middle. And look at what Wagner did. Wagner was testing him with some, and Anderson actually smashed him in the previous delivery into the fence. But Wagner came back absolutely roaring. This was the time where it was a matter of one wicket for England to win, and for New Zealand needed just one wicket to win, and for England it was a matter of taking 2 runs to win, and one to level the series. And look at what happened. That the second delivery from Neil Wagner absolutely made history, and it helped New Zealand go and draw the series. As I said, after following on, they became only the fourth nation in the history of Test match cricket to go and beat an opposition. And that's what precisely happened. It was Anderson. The ball swung in, and it was all over. He was caught down the leg side by Blundell, and it was all over. History was made when New Zealand went on to actually draw the series against England, and finally the series was drawn 1-1. But what a series we had! I mean, England dominated almost till that the whole session. In the first Test match, they won it. The second Test match, they went the whole hog, and there was only one final session. I thought New Zealand dominated with by getting that victory. A great job, New Zealand. Absolutely loved it. It was a tremendous. It was a tremendous match, which will be remembered for a long time. Now, guys, I'm going to get out of this now, and we go back to India, Australia. Now, I'm talking about India, Australia. As I said, Australia absolutely stunned India. One could say it was a shocker. This particular pitch at Indore has been declared as a substandard pitch by the ICC because of the spitefulness, which I do understand. But look at the way things panned out. I mean, India all out for 109. Matthew Kunman taking his first 5-wicket haul, 3 wickets to Nathan Lyon. The only player who played there was Virat Kohli, who was looking good. And then the Aussies in the first innings made 197. Usman Khwaja, the highest scorer, with 60. The chief wrecker being Ravindra Jadeja with 4 wickets, and Umesh Yadav. Umesh Yadav did a good job. He actually reverse swung the old ball to pick up some vital wickets, and that's the precise reason they won for 197. Ashwin taking 3 wickets, and it was not a. It was a lead. It was a very handy lead for Australia, and one was thinking, with the way the pitch was playing, where the ball was right from the first day, the ball was turning, it was spitting, it was bouncing, uneven bounce. The ball was sometimes skipping low, and one knew that the Aussies were the ones who were going to bat last on this particular pitch, and one was wondering as to what could happen. But look at this Indian second innings. In India, in the second innings, made 163, but that was just because of the lead that Australia had taken. The target was just 76 runs. So let's have a look at the Indian batting card. Let's immediately point out towards Cheteshwar Pujara's knock. Look at that knock of Cheteshwar Pujara. He collected a blob in the first innings, but second innings, look at the quality of the innings. And that's a precise reason India could at least give 76 runs for Australia to go and win the match. But look at Cheteshwar Pujara's innings in the context of things. 59 runs with 5 fours and 1 6. And I would say it was a quality innings. It was a tough pitch. And hats off to Cheteshwar Pujara for playing that up. But it was very unfortunate I would definitely give all the credit to Australia. I'm not going to take any credit away from Australians. Australians have defeated India in their own game of spin. So they definitely deserve a lot of credit. And what it has done is that they've clinched their place in the World Test Championship final. And look at the bowling. Nathan Lyon, in his evening of his career, has taken. He probably can't do this in Australia or anywhere. He goes here and picks up his best match haul of this veteran bowler. Nathan Lyon has taken 8 wickets. It is his best bowling analysis in his career. 23.3 overs, 1 maiden, 64 runs, and he picked up 8 wickets. And now the target for Australia was 78. And one was wondering on the final day that we are going to have some lot of entertainment. The Indian spinners are going to come to the party. We are going to see the Aussies struggling and lot. But one thing I have to, that's the reason I said I give immense credit to Australia for doing this to India. Despite losing Usman Khwaja for a duck, look at what they did. They breezed to a 9 wicket victory. Can you believe it? Now, this is a pitch. For the last 3 days, it has been behaving in all sorts of mischievous manner. And here comes Australia going and winning the match in a breeze, with Travis said contributing an unbeaten 49, 6 fours and 1 6. Manus Labuschagne not out on 28 with 6 boundaries. The game over. The Aussies have defeated India by 9 wickets. Can you believe it? They did it, and definitely they deserve a lot of credit as they have beaten India in their own game. But as I said, what it has done them a world of good. They have gone into the World Test Championship final, but for India, they have to once again wait to win the fourth Test match to really clinch a place. So that's the story there. And Ravichandran Ashwin won for 44. Jadeja, none for 23. I was just wondering, I mean, it is not going to make much of a difference, but I was just wondering why Akshar Patel did not get a. Yes, my friend, it was an absolutely poor pitch, substandard pitch. The ICC have said it's a substandard pitch. Yes, it was. It was definitely a substandard pitch. But again, I can't take any credit away from Australia because the Indian spinners are someone's who are pretty strong, and Australians are batting last on this pitch. So considering that, I'm throwing the credit to Australia for doing this to India. So let's get on from here, get on to the South Africa West Indies Test Series, the first Test match I'm talking about, where the South Africans won the match by 87 runs. This is going to be a skimmer here because of the loss of time here, because of a lot of talking on New Zealand and England, New Zealand, England, and India, Australia. South Africa, West Indies. The outcome was South Africa won the first Test match by 87 runs. Let's have a look at the card. The South Africans, it was Aiden Markram's innings of 115, 18 boundaries. A superb knock from him, studded with strokes. 71 coming from Dean Elgar, the outgoing captain. Temba Bavuma captaining innings 342. But what a bowling spell from Alzari Joseph, getting his maiden 5-4 in Test cricket. 18.3 overs, no maiden, 81 runs, but picked up 5 wickets in the bargain. West Indies, replying to the South Africans, were bowled out for 212. It was Raymond Reefer, played a good innings of 62 with 7 boundaries, 37 coming from Jermaine Blackwood, who also did well in the second innings as well, 212. So definitely they conceded a big lead, no doubt about it. As far as the South African bowling was concerned, it was a fifer for Henrik Nokia. 16 overs, 5 minutes, 36 and 5. We bowled with all fire and brimstone, one could call. And South Africans in their second leg were completely plucked out of position by the West Indies bowlers. A marvelous job by the West Indies bowlers, with Kemar Rose this time getting onto a 5-wicket haul. 2 wickets apiece to Alzari Joseph and Jason Holder. And the South Africans were bowled out for 116. Aiden Markram, once again, the highest scorer with 47. As far as the West Indians were concerned, they had a target of 247 runs, but the South Africans absolutely didn't allow them any room whatsoever to recover, even though they had Jermaine Blackwood, who was keeping their hopes absolutely alive with some very good stroke making, where he scored the highest score of 79, 12 fours and 1 6. But other than that, there was not much to really talk about, as the West Indian innings caved out for just 159, and the South Africans going on to an 87-run victory. Yet Kagiso Rabada, the experienced bowlers, absolutely ripping through the West Indies batting lineup with 15 overs, 3 maidens, 50 runs, and picked up 6 wickets. And Gerald Quedzi was very impressive in his first outing, making his debut in this particular Test match was pretty impressive with his pace as well. So other than that, we are almost coming to an end of it. As far as England and Bangladesh are concerned, I can just say it has not been easy for any team to come and win the ODI series in Bangladesh. But this England second string team has done it, led by Josh Butler, with David Mallon, even though Bangladesh probably had a good hold on the Englishman. But I thought David Mallon came up with the goods with a wonderful century, his 4th century of his career. And at the other side, we saw Jason Roy getting into his own, putting his 13th century in ODI cricket as they went on. and that wrapped up the series for England against Bangladesh. So England, well done, England, in actually playing the Bangladesh spin very well, and also the final match, which is coming up, is a mere formality, but England have already won the ODI series. So, yes, my friend Game GP, I've been looking at your comments here. Yes, my friend, it was an absolutely poor pitch. Bounce of ball, yes, as I said, it was a spiteful pitch, a substandard pitch. Yes, I absolutely agree with you, my friend, that the Aussie batsmen absolutely batted much better than the Indians. The Indians' application probably was lacking. They probably tried to attack the Australian bowling. So just a matter of in the previous matches, the Aussies were guilty of sweeping and reverse sweeping, but as far as the Indians were concerned, they were guilty, according to me. I would put it to some aggressive cricket. It's probably they thought because of the pitch conditions, they need to really take the attack to the bowlers, and probably they did that. Probably that really backfired against them. Well, as far as the next pitch is concerned, well, they once you're bitten, you're twice shy. So I think the next pitch in Ahmedabad, I'm absolutely thinking that we are not going to have such issues. It's going to be a good pitch. But even the short selection was poor. Yes, I do agree with you, mate. On that, the short selection was absolutely poor, as I said. But it was. I just felt sorry for Cheteshwar Pujara, who played an absolutely quality knock under the circumstances. Um, India could have taken the lead, yes. But again, as I said, it just, I mean, it is. Oh, your name is Ganesh. Good to have you that on the chat, Ganesh. I hope you're liking my cricket show, and hope you're also looking at all my YouTube videos. And also, you can also look at a lot of cricket videos if you're really crazy about cricket. You can. Well, as far as your comments are concerned, I could not see any comments of yours. I don't know, for some reason. I didn't see your comment. Probably you could post the comment once again and I could look at it. I'm very happy that you have connected with me on Cricket Show. Very glad to. Well, on the first video, well, I have to probably look at my notifications, but I didn't see any comments. I just let me see whether I can. 10 years back, my friend. Okay, that's I have to probably dig into it. But nevertheless, pleasure, man, pleasure having you on this cricket show, commenting. And you might have done it, Ganesh. And Ganesh, really, as you very rightly said, I replied as well. Okay, fine. I don't. I mean, 10 years back is quite a long time, because this cricket show has been going on for donkey years now. It's just my persistence and my passion for the game, which reigns supreme, one could call. And Ganesh, you can also look at some lot of, if you're really interested, I have a lot of videos from, thanks to YouTube, no doubt about it, world cricket videos. You're a big fan of my passion. Well, that's great. That's great to know. But it's just my passion, man. I'm really enjoying it. Talking. And I think, Ganesh, I'm almost coming to the end of this. It has been a pleasure having you on the show. Yeah, sometimes I come a bit late, but today probably I'm a bit lucky here too, and I'm very happy that you're really loving my show. So go ahead and again, Sunday I'll be back with the cricket show once again, and look forward to once again having your company, Ganesh. I know you're probably from India. There's no fixed time, Ganesh. I basically, it's a passion. So anytime I'm free, because I'm a family man, and I go to office as well. So basically, oh, you're in Vancouver. That's good to know. That's good to get connected, Vancouver. Vancouver is a place that probably in the future I'm planning to visit as well. So probably that's one time. Probably I would be in a position to even probably meet you. You never know. It's a very, you never know. So we'll see. I'm in Toronto, Ganesh. I stay in Toronto. And again, Ganesh, it's been a pleasure, absolute pleasure chatting with you. Really a pleasure chatting with you, Ganesh. And I know, look forward to your chatting with you, and look forward to more company from you on the cricket show. And the only thing, Ganesh, you can do for me is that if you have any of your cricket friends, or anybody, relatives, or anybody who are really loving cricket, probably, if I mean, they could probably look at my show. If they like it, well, they can subscribe, and if not, they not subscribe. But just you can probably talk to them. And as a friend, Ganesh, I think it's about time for me to pull the wind up button here. And again, once again, thank you, Ganesh, for all your support, and look forward to more company from you on the cricket show. Until then, it's goodbye from here. Thank you.